What up everyone, it's your boy X-Man87 here bringing you another Marvel Legends video, and what I have for you today is the Marvel Legends X-Men Age of Apocalypse Wave 2 Colossus Build-A-Figure Series Cyclops action figure review. Before I get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's go! One of many things that I find most intriguing about alternate realities is seeing hero characters being more badass and looking more badass than their main Earth counterparts. This is the case for this AOA Cyclops, my second favorite version of this character. This depiction of Cyclops is what actually made me take the Boy Scout seriously at the time. No more goody two-shoes here, as Scott Summers was one of Apocalypse's most dangerous enforcers. Adopted by Mr. Sinister along with his brother Havoc, they were sent to an orphanage after their father Corsair's plane was attacked by a Shi'ar spacecraft. Scott became Sinister's favorite due to his almost genetic perfection. This would cause a relationship strain of jealousy between he and Havoc. During a mission, he captures Jean Grey and brings her to Sinister's lab, but then slowly falls in love with her. Contemplating on returning Jean back to the X-Men, Weapon X infiltrates the labs to rescue Jean, and the couple escaped after getting into a brutal battle with Weapon X, taking out Cyclops' left eye, while Cyclops in turn blasted off Weapon X's left hand. An iconic moment in X-Men history. Going back to Cyclops' father, Corsair, he survived the attack and landed back to Earth with a Shi'ar spacecraft, unbeknownst to the brothers. Unfortunately, he was captured by Apocalypse's forces and infected by a brood egg, sending him to be experimented on by Dark Beast in the breeding pens. After Cyclops started questioning the breeding pens, he and Havoc eventually found their long-lost father. The brood egg hatched at this time, and Chris Summers begged Scott to kill him, in which he reluctantly complied. This caused a major rift between the brothers, as now Alex blames Scott for their father's death. Cyclops would soon start fighting for the forces of good, releasing prisoners along the way. Around this time, Sinister had created X-Men to overthrow Apocalypse as ruler using Scott and Jean's genetic templates, who were both unaware of this development. Havoc would capture both Scott and Jean to be tortured by Dark Beast in the labs, but then escape defeating him, and as they run off to free the prisoners from the breeding pens being ordered for execution by Apocalypse, the two run into X-Men who wanted to put an end to Apocalypse and his rule. It is here that X-Men discovers that the two are his parents. Jean learned of the human High Council had unleashed bombs, and in order to deflect the bombs, she blanketed the sky with a telekinetic shield. It was here that Jean was tragically slain by Havoc. Havoc nearly kills his brother, and as he gloats over his defeated body, Weapon X kills Havoc to avenge the death of his beloved wife, Jean Grey. In the end, Weapon Omega is crowned the new ruler in the Age of Apocalypse. Cyclops reappears as head minister under Weapon Omega's control. He was revived by Dark Beast and Sugarman using the power of the Life Seed, which is a celestial technology that can reverse the effects of Apocalypse. Fun fact, AOA Cyclops makes a cameo appearance in the epic animated series of Wolverine and the X-Men at the end of the series finale. The second season was supposed to head into the Age of Apocalypse, but unfortunately was cancelled due to financial problems. And that was my brief character review of AOA Cyclops. Now onto the figure. Where do we begin? That receding hairline. Oh my god, it's absolutely terrible. It's right there. It's right in front of you. There's no way to avoid it. You're gonna see it. And especially with that big gap right there, it just makes the forehead look so much bigger. And my problem's not even with the sculpting of the hair. I think the sculpting of the hair came out good. It's the placement of it. It's not where it's supposed to be. Yeah, the gap is just really bad, and looking at the side, you can see how it just like sticks out. It's definitely out of place. This is really bad. But again, like I said, the sculpting of the hair, it's really nice. As you see, it's very wavy. It's got a nice flow to it. There's the top of the hair. But the one key signature look that is missing so much is the clawed out left eye. It is not there. It's not present at all. They didn't even bother sculpting it. As you can see, there's just nothing there. And along with the stubble on the beard, they didn't give him any kind of stubbles or a 5 o'clock shadow. Again, this is what made that character look so cool. It's because how rugged he looks. Now let me bring out the vintage 95-96 AOA Cyclops from Toy Biz. Man, they got it right. Look at the clawed out face. Oh man, it looks so cool. The freaking scars on that are so good. And you got the stubble on the beard, so he has the 5 o'clock shadow, and the hairline is right. So how does a figure from 95, 96 get it right, but a figure in 2021 doesn't? Like, I'm still scratching my head from this. And they could have done the slash face. I mean, we've seen it countless times before that Hasbro's not shy at getting edgy. We've seen blood on the figures, you know, and even with the Heimdall figure, for example, you know, he's got some gashes like right there on his arm and even right here, you know, and this is sculpted nicely. If this was applied to this, oh, it would have looked so much more badass. It would have made this figure. But no, they decided to strip that away from us. The best thing about the head sculpt for me is the visor, and I think we can all agree that it came out pretty cool. You know, I think they got the shape right, and I like the red eye painted right there, so that looks cool. And you can see on the side, I guess this is a headset to call Hasbro customer service and recall his own figure. And I like the expression on his face. I think it came out nice. He looks mean, but if he had the 5 o'clock shadow painted on and the claws on his face, it would have looked so much more badass. As for the rest of the body, he's on the Bucky Cap mold. Yes, I know. Yet again, Bucky Cap on another Cyclops. I do like the blue color right here. It looks nice. But the highlights really are on the armored bits. So if you look at the armor here, you're going to see a lot of weathering. And they did a great job here showing off those details. So you get a lot of like nicks and scratches there. It really, really came out beautiful. And the arms are the highlights too. These are new arms and they're pinless, so that looks good. And again, you get more weathering on the armored bits. It is sculpted, you know, there's this texturized and all that, so that is really, really nice. So you got that shoulder strap, you got the belt with some pouches. I could look at this all day though. This is really, really nice. And this armored arm, too, man, it gives Winter Soldier a run for his money right here. Yeah, that looks so good. I really love the armored plating. Man, that looks really, really cool. And then we get blue on the inside for the gloves on both sides. And the top of the shoulder strap, if I like shift it a little bit so you can see how the shoulder looks right there. Again, it's really cool. It's not removable though. Usually there's like a clip around here to like detach it, but that's it. Then for the legs, it's Bucky Cap in all blue. And then you get the different shoes instead of the traditional Bucky Cap shoes. Now for articulation, I'm not going to go over everything completely because it's the Bucky Cap mold. You already know how it works. I'm just going to go over the new parts that you just need to take note of. So because of the hair, you know, he looks up about that much, you know, it is hindered and looks that far down, which is not bad. Now for the new arms, the armored arm moves up about that high, so not bad. And then the other arm moves a little bit higher because you don't have all that armored sculpting taking up space. And he does have the double jointed pinless elbows, so on the armored arm you're only gonna get about that much, so slightly less than 90 degrees. And with the non-armored arm, you're gonna get about this much. And the wrist on this figure looks funky with this like ball looking wrist. Looks like he has a freaking tumor. So you see that? I'm not being nitpicky here, man. This is obvious. It's like right there in front of you. Alright, so now for this segment, I want to share something special with you guys. So just to let you know that the AOA Cyclops is my favorite look out of all the AOA characters. So the AOA Cyclops Toy Biz figure is something near and dear to my heart. I loved this figure as a kid, and I just overall love the look to it. So, in the AOA comics, Cyclops has been drawn with yellow boots on or all blue, sometimes heavy shading to the point where they just look black. Same with the gloves. Sometimes they were like all yellow and, you know, all yada yada yada. But my biggest attachment was the Toy Biz figures. I had almost all the AOA toys growing up. So I love what Toy Biz did here. They gave them black boots and the black gloves. So it's something I wish that this figure had. So I had to do this and get an extra Cyclops and painted the boots and gloves in black and pay homage to this Toy Biz retro figure. But look at how much better this looks. I mean, it's crazy how one color can add so much. Even if this figure didn't have like the black gloves, I would be okay with the blue gloves just as long as they gave him black boots. I mean, it would eliminate all that plain look he's got going on. Even if they sculpted the boots, whether they painted them black or just left them blue, like that would have looked a little bit better. I liked how Toy Biz sculpted the boots. That came out really nice. Now I didn't go all in on mine and paint black in between the armor like this one here, or give him the clawed face and the stubble beard. I'm not that good of a customizer. Painting, okay, I could do somewhat of a decent job, but the sculpting, oh no, I leave that to the pros. Another thing I was thinking of doing was swapping Spy Master's boots with this one, but he's just way too yellow and I prefer a gold that matches his armor. But seeing this being close to the Toy Biz one just hits home for me. Like, I like this, I do not like this. And also he has 0 accessories, so nothing to work with this guy. At least the Toy Biz one had the little cybernetic guardian he came with that was seen in Sinister's lab, so we'll just give it to him so that way he has something at least. Now for some comparisons, here is our AOA Cyclops next to AOA Jean Grey and Weapon X. Here he is next to his son Nate Grey, aka X-Man. Here he is next to AOA Apocalypse. Here he is next to some other villains from AOA Wave 1, Dark Beast, and the Sugarman Baf. Here he is next to my favorite Cyclops version ever, which is the Jim Lee 90s style from the Warlock Build-A-Figure wave, and the jacket style from the Love Triangle 3-pack. Here he is next to all other Cyclops figures from my collection, and here is a fun throwback comparison next to the vintage Toy Biz AOA Cyclops. Here he is next to his wave mates that I've already reviewed. Lastly, here he is next to Legion. Legion review is up next. Alright, and now to wrap things up, my final rating is a 6 out of 10. A redo needs to be done here, as Hasbro completely disrespected the awesome AOA look of this character in the comics that I love by stripping away so many features that should have been added onto this figure. We're just missing so much, and I hate that feeling of missing one or several things. Not just missing, but the lackadaisical efforts on the final execution is pathetic. This was my most wanted AOA character for the Legends line before an AOA wave was ever revealed, and I'm just extremely disappointed at the end result as both a fan and a consumer, to the point where it pains me. Ideally, I feel that this figure should have introduced a new standard male body mold for the line, but instead we got Bucky Cap yet again. Not even another mold like Spider UK, which would have been more fitting. The only good takeaways are the pinless arms, especially the armored arm and all the weathering on the armored bits. He should have at least included an additional head, maybe one with the ponytail as seen in the comics. For now, it'll be on my AOA display until I can find someone to properly customize the Cyclops head for me on the one I painted. All in all, don't keep the stock product, go custom and paint it if you can. If not, maybe wait to see if hopefully we get a much needed and updated version of this the proper way later on. A cool offering would be in a 2-pack with AOA Havoc. Anyways, the next Cyclops I look forward to is, well, you already know, the Whedon Cassidy Astonishing X-Men version. That would complete my 3 favorite Cyclops versions made in Legends form. It's sad that I'm already thinking of an update for this figure as we just got it. Fingers crossed in getting a better AOA Cyclops sooner rather than later. Now I kick it back to you. What do you think of this AOA Cyclops? Do you think the extra paint made it look better? And which version of Cyclops do you want to see next in the Legends line? Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. That was my review. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. Link is in the description below. Get your Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse Wave 2 Colossus Build-A-Figure series at Big Bad Toy Store. Link is in the description below. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. Enjoy the pics at the end of the video. See you on the next review. Peace.